What's up, guys? This is the Bold Podcast. I'm here with my guest, Ashley, tonight. So it's only two of us instead of the three like I had been with my first two episodes. Same situation. So we draw questions out of a bowl, ask the questions, and we both get a chance to answer it. Sometimes we go off and ask other questions in between that, and it just kind of dives into a whole bunch of other stuff. So before we get started, I kind of wanted to show you guys the bowl up close. I know I kind of showed you guys in the first episode, but I wanted you guys to see it in all its glory. This one, Taco Bell, and it says, I shit myself. This is my favorite, you know. But yeah. Yeah, there's tons of good stuff on here. Lots of good ones.
Sit on his face.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Nice buns. Got the hot dog. Yeah, there we go. Sit on his face. If he dies, he dies. You know. No muff too tough. We dive at 5. Yeah. Got some good ones. Okay. So I never like a long intro. It kind of gets boring and I always fast forward and then I just get it everywhere, you know. So on here, we're drinking tonight. So it may get very interesting for Oreo. Okay. So, okay. All right. We're going to dive right in. Ooh.
Oh. Left.
Hey, I like that. Okay. What is your biggest pet peeve?
Lying. Or lying to me to the point to where, like, I know you're not lying, and you still keep lying. I don't know. I'm one of the most chill people around, and I'm pretty understanding and pretty go with the flow.
Are you one like where you just want to keep hearing their like lying story? You're like, oh yeah, that sounds really interesting.
I like to see how deep the lie can go, so I'll just keep asking questions. Okay, and then what else? And well, what time did that happen? Or
I could totally see that though,
especially if I know that I'm right about something.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I like to see how far it goes. And then I like to see their body language with it and how worked up they get. I'm like, that's so nice. Well, I'm still laughing.
Right.
I'm a really bad laugher during, like, arguments. It's not very good.
Yeah, it gets me in trouble.
It gets me in trouble, too. And I'm like... So
this is funny? Did you think this is funny?
Now I kind of got to the point like, where I have to turn my back. So I can be like, no eye contact. I can't look at you right now.
I'm learning to I'm trying to learn, not learning. I am trying to learn to just bite my tongue. It's a very hard concept for me.
Yeah. My biggest pet peeve. Oh my gosh, that's a really tough one for me. Only because I don't feel like anything really bothers me. Like, things get on my nerves, but I don't think it's enough for it to, like, bother me to the point where I'm, like, freaking the fuck out. I don't know. Like, back in the day, okay, so I'm pretty sure I have ADHD. Back in the day, it was definitely the whole, like, pencil tapping thing. I guess for me, like, if I see hair on somebody's clothes, like, I'll pick it off and don't even tell them. Because I feel like, why even tell them? I don't know. Just pick it off. They didn't know it was there to begin with. They're not going to know it was the God. Okay?
Have you done it, though, where you go to pull it and they feel it? You know, they're like,
oh, yeah.
This is one of the weirdest feelings. Like, you have your leggings on and you pull a hair.
Oh, I know.
And you can feel it.
Yes. I'm trying to think what else. I don't know. I just don't think I really have one. As weird as that sounds.
I think that's a good thing to have, though, because...
It is.
I mean, it's a good thing to not to have.
I've learned to brush a lot of things off, I guess, in my life. Now. I'm not saying it's always been like that. Definitely now, because I'll be 35 this year, okay? And things get old after a while, and you're just like, okay, whatever.
And with age comes wisdom.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, my gosh. Okay. How can you become a better person?
I mean, what's better than this? Completely joking.
What are you talking about?
Really, it's how can I become a better person? I need patience And I think it goes back to also learning to bite my tongue when I need to bite my tongue. Like, I don't always have to say
Like, have the last word.
how I'm feeling.
Yeah.
No, really, I think it's just I don't always have to express to people how I'm feeling. Sometimes it's just best to learn to manage it on your own rather than telling someone how you feel, because sometimes your feelings make people feel a certain way too. Yeah. And then it can cause confrontation or conflict. Mm-hmm. So me learning to just accept things. Maybe me learning to accept things is part of making me a better person.
That's a really hard thing to overcome too. I really kind of struggled with that about 4 years ago. And I actually had to go through my own shadow work in order for me to like deep dive and find out like what makes me tick type thing. And whenever I did that and I came out of it was rough. By the way, it was really rough. I think I slept for like a week. It was really rough.
You say shadow work, what's that mean?
So like, you figure out kind of like what makes you you and why you act the way you act and why you are the way that you are. So whenever you shadow work, you basically dive into the parts of yourself that you chose to like suppress because they're so bad. Say you had a traumatic experience and you didn't want to go through like breaking that trauma bond or like, you know, doing stuff like that. But you have to, in order for you to basically have that kind of I don't give a fuck attitude, you kind of have to go through all of that shadow work in order for you to come out in the end, so then nothing gets you. You are basically untouchable after that point because nobody can break you. It's a really rough thing.
I need a shadow book. It's
a really rough thing to go through. But it's so worth it, I think, for everybody. No matter what like trauma you've had in your life, whether it's family bond trauma or abuse or anything like that. So, but yeah, that it's not an overnight thing, like with what you're saying.
Right.
So, I think for me, this is gonna sound so bad, but I mean it like so, like kindly from my heart. Like, I think I overshare with people, things, whether like if one person doesn't like one person, I'm gonna be like, hey, look, like this girl doesn't like you because of this. And then they look at me and they're like, the fuck? And it's like, but I'm telling you
so
that
maybe you
kindly.
understand why. So you can understand why, and if you really want to be friends with this person,
yes,
maybe you would have to change this about yourself.
Yes.
But I understand what you're saying.
I think I'm so real to the point like where I piss people off, and I'm like, I'm sorry, like I can't help it. I would rather somebody tell me, hey, look, I don't want to be your friend because of this. Okay, well, what can we do to fix it? Right. Or if you want to end it, okay, like I respect that. Because I guess I'm at the point like now where I'm so fucking grown in my like life. I don't know. Even with my friends, like just be upfront and honest. And so I value that. So I try to do it with everybody, but not everybody wants to hear that. And so
I appreciate that.
Yes.
About you.
And I've actually, well, I feel like I've had friends quit talking to me recently because of that. I'm not gonna name names, but but I think that
the shoe fits.
Yeah, but I mean, it's like one of those things because I love like I love both the people that don't like each other, and it's like you know, this is why I like you, and this is why I like you, but you two not liking each other, like I don't understand any of that. But I guess it's not my place to understand, but it's also not my place to tell that person, hey, this person doesn't like you,
right?
And so for me, like, I think that can make me a better person. And another that maybe just not oversharing as much and being too honest. That
maybe only share when asked.
If they ask, yeah.
What, you know why they don't like me? Yes, as a matter of fact, I do.
Let's dive into this, okay? Pull the snack, grab a beer. We're gonna dive. But yeah, I think. I don't know. Like, I'm just so real, and it pisses off people. So, I don't know. It's kind of
nature people. That's how I see it.
Yeah, it's really my blessing and my curse at the same time. But I'm not going to change it. I'm sorry, I'm not. Because to me, I would want that quality in somebody. Like, I would want somebody to come up to me and be like, hey, girl, like, so-and-so doesn't like you because of this. Hey, thanks, because now I know to look out for that person. So, thank you. So, stuff like that. I don't know. And I guess some people want to classify that as shit talking. It's really not shit talking if you're being honest about like their behavior.
Actual.
So, yeah, I guess if that can make me a better person, then I guess that's it. Because I feel like I'm already a better person. I've changed my life around a lot. And really tried to value friendships more and stuff like that. So I think that's really the only thing that I got. But that's a bad trait. Hey, I'm not doing too bad. Oh.
Right.
No. Oh.
Right.
Okay. Dang, why are these all so deep? Can we get a funny one? Okay. If you could relive one moment in your life, what would it be? Damn!
That one.
I got a few.
What's crazy is, like, there's not really one moment.
Yeah.
That like really like stands out. There's, like the day that my children were born, I wouldn't need to relive those. But those are like moments that are happy in my life.
Mm-hmm.
Relive a moment. How would you go first? Let me think.
Okay. I've got quite a few. I know this is like really crazy. Okay, so back whenever I had TikTok before I deleted it. Okay. Did you ever see on TikTok where it was like reliving like old 90s like toys and snacks and then it would play that music and you're like that electronic music and you're like, I'm really sad now.
So like you go back like to the 90s?
Like where everything was so innocent. You know what I mean? Like you didn't have a care in the world. And I think like now as an adult, like looking back, like I mean, you're obviously innocent as a kid, but you take that shit for granted. Like you don't realize it until you're older and you're like, damn, like man, my childhood was lit and I didn't even realize it.
Right.
Like I want to go back. So that would probably be one.
I feel like the 90s were so much more slow, like even the 80s
They
and 90s,
were.
anything was just so much slower pace.
It was.
Than what it is now. Everything is, right at the hand, right here to your hand. And so everything's so fast paced. And so I think that's a good idea.
Everything's so slow paced, we had dial up. And for those of you that don't know dial up, thank God.
The AOL disc that you used to get in the mall.
Yeah. Hey Heather, get off the computer. I gotta go use the phone.
Right.
Like, oh God. Okay, I gotta go, and then you're chatting.
Right.
But that, like, I would go back to that. I would love to. This is gonna sound really awful, and like, my apologies if it does. But I would love to go back to my first relationship and tell him to go fuck himself because he treated me like shit. He treated me like shit so bad to the point like where that was my first real taste of mental abuse as a kid at 16 years old, man. Like that really shaped a lot of shit for me. So I would love to go back and tell him that. Can't because he passed away. Call it karma, call it whatever you want. I don't know. But he passed away.
It is what it is.
Yeah, like I felt bad. He left behind, like a family, and I felt bad because maybe he did change his ways, but I would never know that. So, I would go back and tell him to go fuck himself though. And, I think, probably getting a chance to hang out with my mom's dad again because he died whenever I was 10. And so I feel like if he could see me now and like living my life, like if I could go back and be this age seeing my grandpa, like that's what I would go back to.
That is one of the moments that I was over here pondering.
Yeah.
I was like, so I don't care who you are, my granddaddy was the best man that ever walked this earth in my eyes.
Yeah.
Like, if I could just go back and... But the thing is I wouldn't want to go back and like relive a moment with him. I would want a moment with him now. As an adult.
Yes. Yeah.
I would want, like, when people like, if you could see anyone in heaven, who would it be or whatever?
Yeah.
That would be the person that I would choose. If they were dead now, that's who I'd want to see. As far as moment, not a moment relived, because when you asked that question, what I thought was like something that I did and I enjoyed and I would want to do it again.
Mm-hmm.
But like with my kids' father, the moment I realized that I was in this relationship that I was completely being controlled.
Oh yeah.
And I got my mental health under control, and I realized what I wanted out of life, and I still stayed in that relationship for 3 years. I just bit my tongue.
Yeah.
But I stayed in the relationship.
It's saying don't talk about it.
Right? I stayed in that relationship for 3 years. No, we were in it for 13 years, but I stayed in it for 3 years longer, and all 3 of those years were pretty miserable.
Yeah.
So I might have changed, like when I realized.
Yeah.
At that beginning of the 3-year mark, leaving sooner. I feel like I would probably be a better person now than I am. I would be in a better situation than what I am now. Because I was at my best mentally and physically. I was just at my prime. And I wish I would have left him when I was at my prime.
Yeah. I feel like there's a couple things that go with that, though. I feel like, for one, I think that we always overextend our welcome, like, in relationships, because we get comfortable. Like, we don't, it's not the fact that I don't know, like, what I'm trying to say. Like, you want to leave, but you don't want to leave because it's, like, the comfortability. And then you're worried about, well, is there somebody else out there, that, like, I could date? Is somebody else going to be compatible with me? And then going into that.
Also the fear of, am I going to find just someone else just like them?
Yeah. I feel like you always, like, if you dated a narcissist, you kind of almost follow that pattern because you're so used to shit and the love bombing and this, so going into the second part, like, guys can talk a good game at the beginning, man. They'll tell you everything that you want to hear, and then they'll butter you up, and then it's like, boom.
I don't think it's guys. I think it's narcissists in general, because there are women.
It can be.
There are women that do it.
Oh, facts.
There are women that do it. But in our case, this has been men.
Well, I mean, I've been with guys that have, like, gassed me up, and they tell me all these good things, and they're not bad guys, and they're not narcissists, but it's almost like it fizzles out. You know what I mean? Because they gas you up so much at the beginning, and then it's like, oh, well, now that I got you, hey.
This is the real me.
Bye. Because now you're still here and you're not leaving. So,
right.
I
just noticed that.
Because I have to remind myself.
That's
because
right.
I'm everywhere.
You need to put underneath it John and Derek. Because those boys are excited.
Actually, I'm going to leave that up there, and I'm going to put in parentheses top tier next to you.
Touche.
So then they go, what the fuck?
Oh, yes, please do.
Sorry, we're talking about board over here. I got her name and what day, because I have to remind myself a lot. So, see, this is 35. Damn it.
37.
All you young kids, prepare.
Nah, I wouldn't want to be young again, though.
Honestly, I tell people all the time, like, because everybody's like, oh, I'm going to do a death to my 20s party. Okay, yeah, but 30s are your prime, man.
I loved my
my 30s.
My early 30s.
I feel like, not to my own horror, but I feel like this is the most good looking I've ever been, like, in my life.
Oh, when I was 32 to 34, 5, I could agree, not right now, but. But I think we grow as we get older, and if you're not learning and not changing and not getting wiser.
Oh yeah.
Like even like when you said this is the best you've looked, it's because you've learned what goes with your facial features. You've learned what's made you look good.
Yeah. And I think also too, it's the way that you carry yourself, the way that you handle yourself. I think when you start to look untouchable is when you start to really, like, radiate that beauty, almost. As weird as that sounds.
It is a glow.
It is a glow.
It is a glow, for sure.
Yeah. I love it. I wouldn't trade it. Okay. If you ever wanted to disappear, where would you go?
Nowhere anybody could find me at, for one. No.
Am I sensing Mexico?
No, not Mexico. I want to be able to drink the water. No. Maybe Fiji.
Shot.
Go to Fiji. I'm drinking straight from the street. No. But somewhere tropical for sure. Fiji stands out. Puerto Rico stands out. I wouldn't want to go to the Bahamas. just
No.
because I've not heard the best. Like
It was
like,
not great.
Like the outers, like there's certain spots that are
Mhm.
good. But I've not traveled anywhere outside of the country, so I've only been to a few places inside the country.
Now, I liked Grand Turk, like, whenever we went, but, I mean, looking around, I don't think I would want to live in a shack if a hurricane hit, okay? I don't think I'm going to disappear there.
That's why I said Fiji, because really all you have to worry about is earthquakes, right? I think they have earthquakes there.
Yeah.
And tsunamis. They don't have too many, like,
Yeah,
hurricanes and
That's
stuff.
true.
And how often are you going to see a tsunami?
Yeah.
I mean, we don't hear about them much, but...
Yeah, right. Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's true.
So I'm going to go somewhere in Asia, I guess, and...
Drink out of a coconut.
Nah, I don't like coconut. But I'll drink something to... Oh, maybe I should go to
So
Mexico.
see, just pour the tequila in
I'm
there.
going to Mexico.
There you go.
I don't need water.
Okay. Mine, I think, would have to be Germany, only because I have family there, so they could kind of get me started. and then,
Das.
yeah. Yeah.
Das. I think Das is yes.
Ja is yes.
What's Das?
Ja, it's ja or nein. So 9 is no.
9 is no. I took German. You can't tell. I can count.
Oh, sprechen Sie Deutsch?
Very little. But yeah, Germany seems like a fun place. I wouldn't want to disappear there and stay there. I always wanted to visit Ireland.
There's some good looking Irish boys. Hey,
Yeah.
I get down.
One of my favorite books I've ever listened to. I don't even remember the
Okay,
The
I was in
name
a
of it?
smut book.
I don't. All of them are smart books.
I'm listening to a smut audio right now, and I'm like,
Well, I don't read. I only listen to audio.
yes, I only
But
listen to audio.
the narrator was an Irish narrator, and
Oh
a lot
god.
of people can't stand an Irish accent, though. I like it.
For smut books, that is not one of my favorites.
I can see that.
Yeah. So, I feel like the smut book that I'm reading now, it is a guy and he's got like a really deep voice, and like the way he talks, it's just because in some parts he like whispers in my ear, and I'm like,
Do I need to go get you a napkin?
I feel like the guy in that gym where he's like,
I get that way
and
sometimes.
then he talks about how tall he is, and I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
and then he's like big, like chiseled, tattoos, dark hair, bright eyes, and I'm like,
What's it about, though?
it's about like this biker guy sees a woman stranded on the side of the road. Her car breaks down. Okay,
Mhm.
it's already a sexy start out. And he takes her and gets a tow truck called, takes her to the bar to go eat, waits for the tow truck. Well, come to find out, his buddy's gonna fix her car. Okay.
Who's it by?
Ooh, I don't remember.
Is it a Nora Roberts?
I don't think so.
Okay.
No, I don't think so. I don't remember. I know this lady writes like other smut books.
Okay.
And so after the bar, they eat. They both are attracted to each other.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and he shares like his thoughts, and then she shares her thoughts.
So do you have both in the narration? Is it both? Of
It's a
them
guy
talking?
and a girl, and I'm like,
Awesome.
okay. And so he was like, well, should I? You don't need a tow truck now. My buddy's gonna fix your car for you, and he'll have it done in the morning. And he's like, where do you want me to take you? And she responds, to your place. And I was like,
Yes, bitch.
and then it goes into detail, and I was like,
Mm-hmm.
oh my god.
Is this on Audible? Is that what you listen to,
So-
or do you have DVDs or
No,
CDs?
so I have on Spotify Premium, they have an audiobook section,
Okay.
and it's called Throttle Me. And you can listen to that on there. And it is
I might have to get some Spotify then.
sexy.
I like me some smutty shit.
Yeah, I listen to that smutty shit at work, and then whenever my boss comes up, I'm like, oh, hi!
I told John the other day that I said I think her boss might have something for her.
Whatever. I mean,
Oh, you might watch this. She's never said anything. Sometimes I forgot we were recording, but
I don't think the smut books, you know, while I'm in my queue. It's fine.
God. Goodness gracious.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
I think we both answered that one now.
That's so funny.
Oh, I'm so embarrassed for you.
I'm not gonna lie though, you're not the first person.
Oh, that's funny. Oh, I've never even met your boss. Okay.
Okay, anyway.
What's next?
What did you want to be when you were a kid?
What age?
I don't think
Okay.
it doesn't matter. Like whatever age.
In
that
the
you're
third grade, we did that, and the teacher asked me, "What did you want to be?" And I said, "A stripper." She said, "A dancer." And she had to talk to my mom about it. But even when I was younger, like I would like I put on like sexy clothes and like striptease. Like, have you ever saw the movie Showgirl and Pretty Woman?
Yes.
I watched those at like 5 to 8 years old. Those are my favorite shows.
You were legit invested.
Right.
Okay, did you have a stripper name?
No, did not.
Probably like Kitty McGiggles or something.
Probably.
You look at a stuffed animal, then you look at a color, you're like, yeah, that's it.
Rainbow Meow Meow. But like as like a teenager, and honestly still to this day, like if I could go on like an improv show, like Saturday Night Live, Whose Line Is It Anyways? But like in high school, my favorite was Mad TV.
Okay, yeah.
Like I loved that show. I would love to do like a comedy improv show, and being a comedic actress. That's probably what I would want to do.
Yeah,
Even still to this day, if I had the chance to do that, I would do that.
that'd be awesome. Yeah, I like that. Mine was definitely always a veterinarian. Like I wanted to be a veterinarian for the longest time. And then it like whenever I hit middle school, it pretty much turned into an artist.
Nice.
And it kind of stayed that way.
I'm sorry you
and
don't have
then-
more animals then.
I know, yeah. I mean, I would love to. It's just like where we live now. It's literally a fucking shoebox, so it's not really doable. But one day, I mean, I'll have like 5 dogs running around, you know. And then then the art thing turned into I wanted to teach college.
Oh.
It was high school.
Okay, Professor.
I know, right?
Hey! Actually, I just watched. I watched those short reels. You know the short reels? I don't know why, but they're so stupid.
Oh, I know.
Like, they're so dramatic, and you're like, are you fucking stupid? Like, why am I watching this? This is so cheesy.
Uh-huh.
But they get you hooked. And one was something about, fell in love with my professor.
That is a big fantasy, like for a lot of people.
Really?
Oh my god. Okay, so going off that story time, whenever I just graduated high school, okay, hanging out with my really good friend at the time. She was dating a guy, you know, they had a baby together. And every time we would go to hang out with them, he would always call me sexy teacher. Like that was always like I looked the part like all the time.
Yeah.
And then his cousin was like, "Oh, I want to get with that." And then like we hooked up.
I was gonna say, and you let him.
I mean, ew.
No. And you let him.
Those are not my final things.
We all have those moments.
We do.
If you say you don't, then you're vanilla.
Maybe that's why I'm not vanilla.
Maybe you do.
So we hooked up, and like I think it was the whole idea of that guy always saying "sexy teacher," and I'm pretty sure he went to this may get. Well, you know, I'm not saying names, so it's fine. Went to his weed guy's house, and he had a nickname, and I'm not gonna say the nickname because you know. But he walked in there, and I'm pretty sure he was like, "Yeah, my friend's outside, sexy teacher," and whatever. And I'm pretty sure after that he was like, "Oh, I want to go take her out on a date." I was like, I don't even know
weed
this
guy.
Yeah.
Weed guy wanted
I
sexy
was like,
teacher too.
I don't even know this guy. What the fuck? I'm good. No, I'm good.
Back
yeah.
when I used to smoke, I always gave my weed guys like special names.
You have to.
One was Jared, because I saw like a How I Saved Your Mother, and they were like, he was talking to his kids, of course, and he was like, let's just say we were in our dorm room, eating a sandwich, but they were smoking.
Yes.
And so Jared from Subway, I gave Jared, and then
oh God, before we all knew what Jared was.
But, right.
When you look back, you're like,
oh,
oh,
actually,
shit.
as a matter of fact, I already knew what Jared was when I gave this guy his name, but he was nothing like the real Jared.
Surprise, motherfucker.
What's funny is he'll still pop up every once in a while, like people you may know, and I think he still has the same number, and I have not cleared out my contacts at all. It's still under
God.
Jared.
That's so funny. I've over the years I've always cleared out my contacts because I'm like, nah, fuck that. Now I do have some people on my phone where I'm like, don't answer this bitch. Like I have that saved as that.
That's so funny. See, before I had it because my number had never changed, and there was just some people I wanted to make sure that I was not answering their phone calls or their texts.
Yes, you have to.
But now I have a new number, so I could probably do a clean out. But I kind of. Excuse me, I'm so sorry. But I kind of like having...
Save it. Because one day they will text me. You're like, thank God I didn't delete that fucking number.
Somehow they found my number. How the fuck did they find my number?
Yeah, God.
Like, I purposely got a new number because I had people texting me from... So after I left Josh, I went through like a little...
Cleaning out.
No, I went through like a party stage.
Yeah.
And... when I was calming down, I kept getting like these texts from these people, and I'm like, I don't want them having my number because I don't want to. I just don't want them having my number, so I just completely got a new number to avoid it.
Yeah,
without meaning anything to like.
My number hasn't
distract
changed since my first relationship.
Really?
Yeah, it's been the same. And I've had some, oh my gosh, the funniest story. Had a guy who I was friends with in high school. He ended up crushing on me. I'm pretty sure the whole time, even though he probably like denied it. But after we got out of high school, and you know how sometimes you do like a glow up, and they're like, "Oh man, I always thought you were cute."
I have one of those too.
Yeah, I've heard that before. Okay, sir. But you know, I was very naive even still, and I'm like, "Oh, you so
really?"
And you know, yeah. And then you
the same exact thing. I know exactly what you're talking
they're
about.
like, "I want to take you out on a date," and you're like, "Okay." And then you go out on a date with them, and oh my god, that was terrible. It was a terrible date. But he ended up texting me like many years later because I hadn't heard from him. And Dustin and I, we were together for maybe like 2 years in. And then our buddy Ben always used to come and hang around us all the time. And one night, this guy, an old friend of mine, texted me. And he's like, "Hey, man, how's it been going? You doing okay?" And I was like, oh my God, this guy that used to crush on me is writing me. And of course, Dustin and Ben were like, "Give me the phone, I'm gonna do something funny." And I was like, oh God, here we go.
I bet it was, though.
Oh, no, they did. So my buddy Ben said, Dustin, I'm gonna turn around, I'm gonna show my butthole, and you're gonna take a picture, and you're gonna send it to him. No, they fucking did it. He sent it to him. And then the guy responded back and goes, "What the fuck, man?" And then blocked me. I was like, "Hey, that wasn't even my asshole."
That's hilarious.
I was like, "Oh my God, you guys are fucking crazy."
Ooh, so my crush that I had, I won't say who it was, of course.
Mm-hmm.
But, so I crushed on this guy all through, I would say, high school. That was about it, but all through high school. And after graduation, we started messaging, probably on Facebook or something like that. I don't even remember what it was. But then I was like, you know, I had a crush on you all through high school. He was like, "Oh, yeah, I liked you too." I was like, "Oh, yeah, really?"
Okay.
And it never was serious, but we did fool around. So all through high school, I had a best friend up until the end of senior year. Well, after me and him fooled around after high school, those two ended up getting married. They are still married and have 2 children together. And I still to this day don't know if she knows that we fooled around.
Martinsville's so small, though. I feel like it's bound to happen with like.
I would have never saw these two together.
Oh God.
Like her boyfriend back in high school, tall, like husky.
Beefy.
No, just husky. Yeah, like thicker, husky. And this guy, he's about, he was an inch shorter than me. I don't know why I had a crush on this guy, but he was an inch shorter than me.
It was the swag, babe.
It was his skater punk boy attitude.
Oh God!
Because back in the day, I had this thing for skater punk boys.
So was the fucking bad boys.
It's always been a bad boys for me.
Oh,
Up until my last 2 serious relationships.
You didn't choose bad boys?
No, my last 2 serious relationships, like my kids' father. Like, he's, like, straight and narrow, introvert.
Like, churchy?
What personalities are you living at the moment?
Oh, God, fuck that.
So there has been churchy moments, but he also is, like, the person that, like, kind of helped me get more into, like, my agnostic beliefs, because we really did explore, like, I had people come, like, not Pentecostal, but
Jehovah's Witness.
Jehovah's Witness and Mormons.
Mm-hmm.
I let both of them come. Like, I am at this point, I'm completely agnostic, maybe an atheist at that point.
Mm-hmm.
But go ahead, come, try to persuade me to join your religion. Tell me what it is, because I wanted to hear like what their pitch was.
Yeah.
But anyways. Yeah, no, Josh was not a bad guy. A bad boy. When I met him, he had his bad boy air, but that was way before we got together.
That is definitely my weakness, buddy.
I understand. So like my eldest son's biological father, for sure, bad boy to the T. Like when we met, we were together like 2 months. He went to jail. I still texted his ass and emailed him, not texted, but this is called mail.
Oh, yeah.
We used to send letters in the mail.
Letters.
Yeah, so we just handwrite letters, and we got together afterwards. But I also, as much as I like a bad boy, I know that I'm what I'm worth.
Yeah.
I'm not going to be with a guy that's in and out of jail.
Yeah.
You got to be a sneaky bad boy.
Yeah. I would say probably my whole high school career, definitely the bad boys. After that, definitely bad boys. I, like, before Dustin, I was on, like, not like a party rampage, but, like, kind of, like, not giving a fuck, doing me, because I never had the chance. So, like, whenever I was 19, dated a guy for 6 years. He had 2 kids. And then we broke up whenever I was 26. So that was my, like, oh my God, I'm going to go out.
My 21.
Yeah. So I was like, oh my God, I'm in my prime. And which, thankfully, I was 26 at this point because I was a little bit more mature and I wasn't so stupid going out. But I still had fun, okay? I met a bad boy at a bar, okay? He was working at a bar and I saw him and I was like, oof. Tattoos. He had like long hair, but put up like in a man bun. Found out he had like this Harley, and I was like, enough said. Like, I'm good. And so one night he was like, hey, like, you want to just go and hang out? And I was like, hell yeah. And we got on the back of his bike and
let me see if I'm free.
We got on the back of his bike and it was one of those, he didn't have a backrest because he didn't have anybody, and so you had to like hug and like get close.
He did that on purpose.
Yeah, I'm sure he did. So rode on the back and it was like he rubbed my, would rub my leg and I was like, I'm done. I'm done.
Marry me now.
Well, no, I never got married.
He was already married?
No, he was not already married. So he was much older than me.
How much?
18 years older than me.
I can't say anything. I'm gonna.
So, I was grown. So for me, I did not find any issue with it. I was exploring my own life and I was exploring what I wanted. Because I never had that opportunity. I always dated somebody who was about around my age and it never seemed to work out. And then so after the 18-year older guy, and he was really great to me. Like, he never put me in a position where I felt uncomfortable or unwanted or anything. Like, he actually treated me with like a woman, like with a lot of respect. And I really enjoyed that. And then after him, because it was really just a fling, like, for me. I think he was what I needed at that moment. And so I appreciate him, and I still do. I still appreciate him. We don't talk, but, you know, I still
But you can appreciate
sure.
what he did for you in your life and your growth.
Yeah, and then after that, I went younger by like 3 years younger. I think he was 3 years younger. And I was like, that's just not, it's just not.
I did 2 years younger once, and
it was just not for me. And I think, I don't know, like, I was just kind of in that exploring stage. And the younger kid was not a bad boy. Okay. So I was like, oh, like.
It was like double X, right?
Yeah, I was like, I don't think that's
he
what
only
I
had
wanted.
one strike left at the
And then-
beginning.
And then I met Dustin at the bar, and I was like, oh, he's like a bad boy, you know? So, and then we ended up getting married, and so, yeah, so I met my husband in a bar.
Nice.
I know, most people are like, oh, share your love story, and it's like, we met at a bar.
But let me tell you this. I think meeting at a bar, I would much rather meet someone at a bar than say that I met them online.
I feel like that's
more,
realist.
it's more authentic.
Yes, it is.
It's more authentic. We're like the John who I'm dating now, he and I knew each other due to his softball. It wasn't because I found someone online and we started dating. Where my kids' father, who I was in a relationship for 13 years, we met online. And almost every relationship before him, it was an online relationship. I didn't ever really have an authentic relationship. So that would probably be the most thing I cherish most. One of the things I cherish most about me and John's relationship is that it's an authentic relationship.
And I feel like whenever you do meet people at a bar, that is their like, if you were to go and ask them like personal questions like at a bar, they're gonna answer
more
real,
right?
like real life. Like, you're your most authentic self when you're drunk,
right?
So, you know,
the raw truth comes out.
That's just Oh my gosh!
You've been holding that question for
I know. It got a little warm.
I hope it's a spicy one.
Oh, okay. No. Oh my gosh! Okay.
Deep, aren't they? Still deep.
What movie was so sad that you will never watch again? Oh my god, I know mine.
I don't know if I would never watch again, but I have watched it maybe. It's in my top. I can't say I have a favorite movie. I always tell people, it's in my top 100 because I love movies.
Oh yeah, me too.
And I couldn't put them in certain orders. It just always depends on my mood. But John Q. Have you seen that movie?
John Q.
It's with Denzel Washington, and his son needs a heart transplant, and his insurance won't cover it or something like that because he has like an MMA, which is where like the doctors kind of get paid off to not do like future testing. So they would have found out that he needed a heart transplant earlier on if they did the testing that they were supposed to, but since he was an MMA, they didn't. And so John Q goes in there, and he knows that he's the same blood type as his kid, and he holds the place up for hostage, and he's going to kill himself. You know, if you're not going to find a heart for my son, then you are going to give my son my heart. Yeah. And that, like, I was literally in the theaters with my mom and sister. That's actually like one of the only movies I've seen with my mom and my sister. And I'm like, like, it literally had, and I wasn't even a mom then. I was in high school. Like, maybe high school, maybe even younger than that. But I just remember that being the saddest movie I've ever really seen.
I think we as females, though, like, it definitely, like, pulls our heartstrings more, like, when it comes to stuff like that. Because you're like, I want to get my heart.
Right? You can have mine.
You want my kidney? I'll give it to you. You know?
Right?
So, I get it. Mine is definitely, hands down, The Boy in the Striped Pajamas.
I've not seen it.
I watched that once, and I will not do it again. Okay. I bawled my eyes out. Because, oh my god, and I don't want to give it away, because if you do want to watch it, you know, but, backstory, Holocaust.
I know what it's about.
Yes, and, you know, children and women and men ended up at these concentration camps, and, the general, I don't even know if they even called them generals, but the head guy who ran this concentration camp had a son who befriended a little boy inside the concentration camp.
The Boy in Striped Pajamas.
Yes. And they would chat every day. And one day he didn't show up. And I was like, oh my god!
Oh god.
And
Did
that-
he die?
he did die.
Oh god.
And I was just, for where he died. And I bawled my eyes out.
Have you ever seen the Radio Flyer?
No.
That was another one, and I have not watched it as an adult because I know I'm probably gonna bawl and I'm gonna want to like throw things at the TV.
Mm-hmm.
But that one there, that one stuck to me as a kid. Have you ever read? And this is not a movie, but it's a book. Did you ever read? And this is the only book I have read from front to back. And yeah, I know it's only like this thin. That's a goal, though. That's an accomplishment. The Boy Called It.
No, but I've heard really fucked up
Oh my
shit
god!
about that.
So I have comprehension disorder. So I literally had to read this book 3 times.
Yeah.
But I'm sitting in the tub. I like to take baths. Even back in high school, I read this in high school, and I'm sitting in the tub. Going, oh my god! Oh my god! It is, if you're a fast reader and you can read.
Yes.
It's a quick read for most. I would suggest you to read it. If not, listen to it.
I think there's a documentary about him growing up now, and he talks about his life as a child.
Well, he did write like 2 other books.
Yeah.
David something or
Uh-huh.
like I don't remember, but they were thicker books, and I was like,
Count me out.
this one was good enough.
That's me. If I see a book, I'm like, oh yeah, nope.
But I'll listen to some raunchy ass books.
Yeah, they keep you very
Intrigued.
Mm-hmm, no. I know they knew me. If I pull another one, that's very sensitive.
What's funny is, so we usually talk about serious stuff, but we are always humorous about it.
I know, yeah. I mean, it is
That's
a
probably
nice
why you keep
little...
getting the serious stuff.
Yeah, they're like, no, bitches, we ain't gonna get you nothing funny.
We ain't gonna go out of your norm.
Oh, man. Okay. If someone offered you a box of everything you have ever lost, what is the first thing you're looking for?
God. Why do you gotta be so deep?
I know.
It would be myself.
Oh, yes.
That it would be.
Yep.
I was, which is crazy because, like, you get to a point to where it's been 15 years.
Mm-hmm.
Well, in December it'll be 15 years. And what's crazy is, like, out of that box, would I want to pull out a child, like the baby that he was,
Mm-hmm.
or would I want to see him
Now.
what
Yeah.
he would be at 15? I don't know, but if I that would probably be, because anything else is materialistic to me.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, it would probably be him or my granddaddy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Ooh, that's a tough one.
That one right there pulled right on my. And what's crazy is, like, 6 years ago, I would still be sitting here bawling. Like, it, as soon as I read it,
Mm-hmm.
I knew the answer that I was going to say, and it made me like a little teary eyed. But like 6 years ago, I would still be sitting here bawling and withering in my own pity. But everything happens for a reason, and if I would not have the kids I have today,
Mm-hmm.
most likely, if he were to live. So I'm not ungrateful.
Yeah.
I really believe that everything happens for a reason.
Oh, facts. Yeah, they do.
But I would still want to know, like, who he is and his personality and stuff, or just what he would look like as a 15-year-old.
Yeah, yeah. I think our lives are so fast paced anymore that we almost don't stop and think about questions like that.
Uh-huh.
You know what I mean? And so whenever I ask that, that hits you.
Uh-huh.
You know, because
did.
you don't stop to think about something like that. So it was like an immediate. Oh, I know.
Uh-huh.
So yeah, I love that.
What about you?
Ooh.
Maybe time. I would get time back too.
God
Like,
damn.
time spent with people. Like, that was
Yeah.
unnecessary.
Yeah. I think for me, honestly, kind of like, I guess, look for myself, because I think somewhere along the lines of my life, I kind of lost myself.
I think we all do, though. I think that's part of
Yeah.
having an adult or just growing.
Yeah, but I think a lot of like my softness was kind of robbed from me. So I would probably try to look for that because I feel like, yeah, you know, like I'm funny and I'm humorous and, you know, I try to do all that. And that's really who I am. But because I don't want to stop and think about like the harder parts of myself. And I think that the moment that I am not my true self, being funny, you know, being there for people, trying to be strong for other people, I see that in myself, and I don't want to stop to see that. So I think I would, but I feel like I need to. So I think I would go and just look for like maybe my softness and my innocence a little bit within that box.
Mm-hmm. Especially like what you said earlier, you know, you got into a very narcissistic relationship very early.
Yeah.
And that does take away a lot of that innocence and softness because you almost have to, because even if you are in a narcissistic relationship and you realize that you're in a narcissistic relationship, you love that person. And so you change and mold yourself to make sure that you are still with that person. And so I can definitely see why you would say that.
Yep. Yeah. And along the way, you stop loving yourself because they damage you so bad to where they make you think that you're unlovable, even though you're not. They make you think that. And so they're, for a long period of time, you're like, oh yeah, I'm not good enough. I'm not. Yeah, you're right. I'm not. And you got to learn how to love yourself again.
What's crazy is, and the thing is you question it for a long time.
Fucking do.
Like, is he right? Is he right? Do I need?
Yeah, you start believing it.
Am I wrong for thinking this? Or am I wrong for being this type of way? And so you question for a long time before you even get rid of that side of yourself or that part of yourself.
Yep. Yeah.
And the reason why you hold on to it for so long is because that really is who you are.
Yep. So we broke up whenever, I think I was like 19, 20, like along the lines of that. And then immediately got with another guy. Okay. Did not have any time for myself. Immediately got with another guy. Because I think I was trying to fill a void that I didn't even know like what I was trying to fill. And so he was good at the beginning, you know, very like, oh, love on you. And then he kind of like towards the end of like our 6 years, like the last 2 years of our relationship was very rocky.
Is this the second guy?
This was the second guy.
Okay.
We actually got engaged. Like we were actually engaged for a while. Things got really rocky. But because I was already damaged from the first time, not taking time for myself, getting into another relationship, I still never learned how to love myself throughout that whole time. And so for me, I was trying to fill that void to have somebody else love me because I didn't know how to love myself. And so whenever my ex and I broke up, I think I was only single for about 3 months and then I met Dustin. So once again, still really didn't take time for myself. So I've had to learn how to love myself through this relationship that I have now by myself. Dustin has opened it up a little bit for me, but I mean, really, I had to do it a lot.
And I think with anybody, for you to love yourself, it all depends. It's loving yourself. No one can do that for you.
No, you can't.
And you have to open each door, window, freaking even the caves if you have to. There's some darkness that you have to go through.
And that's where shadow work really comes into play.
And what's crazy is I think when you were saying shadow work earlier, I think I went through some shadow work back in my early 30s when I decided to leave Josh.
Yeah.
And what's crazy is how quick you can lose all that work that you put into yourself over time, just with like things that happen. Because there was at one point, like I said, where I was in my prime, I preach self-love, and I'll be honest with you, I am nowhere near where I can say that I love myself right now where I'm at in my life.
But I think that's a really great start for you to recognize that, though, too. Because I think a lot of people are like, oh, yeah, I love myself. And then you see, like, what they kind of go through, and you're like, girl, no, you don't. That's not loving yourself, what you're doing.
Right.
The moment that you can recognize it and see it and say, yeah, I don't love myself right now, but I need to work on it, that's a huge step.
It is. But the thing is, and it's still, even once you realize it still takes a lot of effort and work and energy to get to that point of love. And I also think you're always going to be working on your self-love because we're
Oh,
ever
yeah.
changing.
Oh yeah.
There's things, but I feel like I can still to this day, I feel like I can say that I have self-love for myself. I just wish I loved myself more because, like, even where I'm at, I still appreciate who I am.
Yeah.
But I know who I am could be better.
I think
And
we
that
could
may
all
be a
better.
form. That may be a form of self-love, is recognizing that. But I want to get to the point to where I used to be, like, is, girl, you love yourself enough that you are not letting anybody or anything tear you down.
Because you become untouchable.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I just need to go through that again.
I think you're getting there, though. I think that you're recognizing a lot, though, because with some of the stuff, you know, that I've seen you go through, I think that you are working on it and you're getting there. So
Well, I appreciate that.
Yeah. And I think that's a big thing too whenever other people can start seeing it. Because I mean,
what's crazy is even back in the day when I loved myself to the max, like, and I was, like I said, I was thriving. When I was thriving, no one, like, saw it or appreciated it. No one. Okay, I take that back. That's around the time where I started my Facebook and I started getting my following, and of course, people on there notice my self-love growth. But, like, no one in my personal life appreciated it or even liked it. They did not like me coming out of that cave. They didn't like me coming to my full potential.
Because you were no longer manipulative.
Yes.
Yeah.
And even down to, like, family. Not even, like, in my relationship, just family members. They would try to tear me down because I was doing what I love to do, whether I cared what people thought or not.
Yeah, that I mean, I lost a lot of people because of that too. Like, I was no longer manipulated. So I lost a lot of people along the way because of that. So, yeah, I've never always been like this. Let me just tell you that. I've never been so self-confident in my life until now. Well, really, like, for, like, the last 4 years, probably, of my life. Yeah, it's a game changer. And people notice, like, when you're not that happy-go-lucky too. So, I mean, being it is a blessing and it's a curse too, because people notice, like, when you're not yourself, because you're not radiating that, like, glow and that happy and that, and people notice when you're not at work or you're not in a friend's group or you're not there, and
right.
So it takes time.
It does take time.
It takes time.
I felt like it's always a changing thing. Like, even at now, like the manipulative part that you were talking about, like, I'm at a point where I can't be manipulated, but I let people think that I can because I want to avoid confrontation. And I hate that I'm letting them think that.
Yeah.
Like, I know what I know here, and I'm not going to, whatever you say is not going to change what I think here. But the fact that I'm letting them think that they're manipulating me, it gets underneath my skin because it's like, they're winning. I'm letting them win.
Yeah. You'll get to a point where you don't give a fuck.
Like, and I was at that point, and I just lost it. I just didn't get it back.
I say okay a lot in my arguments. I'm like, okay.
Okay.
All
right.
Okay.
I got it.
If that's how you feel, okay.
One of my go-to is, it is what it is.
And I mean, I live by that motto a lot. Like, it is what it is. You can't change people. People can't change you. You can't change the outcome of things that are said. You can't change a situation that's happening.
Especially if it's already happened. It is what it is. You can't change it.
Yep.
Now, you can change what's going to happen in the future. You can. Even if people say you can't. Screw you. Yes, I can.
But you can only change you. Like, that's where it all starts. Like, so, like, maybe your reaction to what's being said or your emotions to what's happening type thing. So, stuff like that.
It's a long one. It's still deep. When she opens it up and she's like,
because we can never have a funny one right now. They're all really deep.
Right?
I think that the universe trying to go.
Where's the stripper one? I want a stripper name. My childhood wants the stripper name.
Oh, I should have busted that out as soon as you said it. Like, we're gonna make a stripper name for you now. Okay, is there anybody you never want to speak to again?
Oh God. Do we have? How long do we have?
We're gonna start busting out the candles in our pajamas.
Right. They're gonna lock up the sanctuary. We'll still be here. But okay. That I will never want to see again. God, why are you always so deep? Okay, so
I know we needed to pull from one. I'm not pulling a handful.
No. So what's crazy is I don't even want to say these things because I know I'm never going to see them again.
You don't have to say their names if you don't want to. Just say like this person because of.
I would love to say their names. Actually, first one I'm going to say Joe Newman. He's a photographer. If he's still a photographer, do not go to him. Because growing up, I did a lot for myself. And I had to find my own senior photographer because my mom was not going to get senior pictures taken. Mm-hmm. And we did 2 sessions. The first session, I went and it was an outside session. Mm-hmm. He was a younger photographer. He was, kind of cute, Mm-hmm. And so I had flirted with him. And so when we went to the second shoot, his studio was in his house. Okay. And I went in there in my first outfit, wore it, and then I went to his changing room was a bedroom. Mm-hmm. I went in there, changed my clothes. Excuse me. And in the middle of changing my clothes, he comes in and he proceeds to rape me. Oh my God. He, at that time, I was naive and easily to manipulate. Mm-hmm. And he convinced me that it was I wanted it. Like, you flirted with me. You wanted this. Yeah. I read your body language. Right. And as a matter of fact, I had only had sex with one other person before him. And it was, I never said anything. And then the moment when I got mature and realized, wow, I need to say something about this. I need to turn him in. Mm-hmm. Statute of limitation was up. So I couldn't do anything about it. There's only a 7-year statute of limitation on rape. Jesus Christ. And even then, there wasn't a rape kit done. Even if I did it, say, at 6 years. There wasn't a rape kit done. It would have been his word against mine. I talked to a lawyer and everything. Because I got older and I got wiser and I was like, oh my God, I need to turn him in because what if he does this to other women? And that weighed on me for the longest time. But if I look up Joe Newman now and you can't find shit about him. So I'm hoping that maybe actually, I don't hope that it happened to another person. Yeah. But if it did happen to another person, they were like, that they turned him in, and that's what ended his career. And I hope that he's rotting in jail. Oh shit! My sister's ex-husband. I could care less to see him again. Those are the top tier. The top tiers right there. Yeah. What's crazy is I know that I'll never see them again because I've never seen them again. Yeah. But as far as people, I don't know. I've gotten to the point where I don't hold grudges. Same. So it's I don't. If I see you, I'm going to be friendly. Because I kill this guy. Well, if we're in a public situation, I'm not a confrontational person, so I'm not going to make a scene about this person if I see them out in public or any people that I dislike. There's only literally 3 people that I don't that I could say that I hate. Now, if I sever any kind of relationship, I pretend I don't even fucking know you. I can go from loving you to 100% to who the fuck is that? At 0. I wish I could say the same. Woo, that's one of my scary traits. I think that I have. Well, I'm the opposite. Is once I love you, mm-hmm. even if I hate you, mm-hmm. no, because those 3 people that I hate, I have no love for them. But I don't know if I ever really did have love for them. But
it was just kind of shitty situations that you were in.
Right. But, like, I have, like, I'm one of those people, as soon as if I meet you, I might not say I love you or I'm in love with you, but I have a love for them. I have a heart that is like the size of Texas, and I wear it on my sleeve.
Facts.
And I care for, if I can make your life better, if I can do something to help you, I'm going to do it. So even the people that I dislike, like, there's people now, and we won't name names, but I will hang out with them or see them, and they won't even know that I dislike them, because even though I dislike them, I still have a love for them.
Oh, bless you, girl.
I want the best for them. And part of it is probably wrong. Like, I wish you would change this about you because I want you to be a better person.
Yeah, I mean, like, I don't wish bad ill upon people that I don't like, but if I see you out in public, and then you try to come up and talk to me, I'm gonna go,
I wish I had that trait. You know how many times I get stopped in Kroger or Walmart talking to someone I wish I wasn't talking to?
Well, really, me not talking to you in that situation, count your fucking blessings, because if I'm gonna pop off, I'm gonna pop the fuck off, because no. Like, so for me, my person that I wish to never fucking see again would be Amanda. I don't wish to ever see that bitch again.
I'm so thankful that I've never had the chance to meet her. I've heard nothing but ill will about her.
And I don't wish bad upon her, like, by any means. Like, I don't, I don't want
because
nothing
you know
to
why?
happen.
You know why? Because you care for her children.
Yes. Children. I love her mom and her mom's wife. Like, I love them. Her sister's awesome. People like that. Like, she has people that are really great, but she chose to shit on them. And for me, like, I don't wish to see her again because she accused my husband of raping her when that is a false accusation. For me,
this is so much news to me. Like, so how have I not heard this one?
If she's going to sit there and throw rape around, that is a very big word to not tread lightly on.
It is.
And you're going to sit there and throw out the word rape? Bitch, come to our fucking house and fucking tell me that to my face.
How has this been a thing?
Oh, she told Dustin that last summer.
So she told
Dustin.
Okay.
So she was on the phone with him. She's like, "Oh my god, so and so's drunk. Blah 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 blah."
Me and her.
Yeah. So I think that was her cue to try to sweet talk Dustin into like wanting to be friends again.
Okay.
And that same night, I guess the night ended up going on. Evan called Dustin. And you can hear her in the background saying that how he raped her. And I was like, no, ma'am. No, ma'am. Get on the phone and tell me that. Because every time we've been to your house, when you think that this has happened, I've been there. I know what the fuck went down. Right. Okay? Mm-hmm. And I know what the fuck did not go down. Mm-hmm. And so for you to insinuate rape, I know people that have been raped. So fuck you for even saying that. And she's one where... We would all be drinking, and everything was fine. Everything was fine. I'm the more that I drink, the more fun I fucking get. Like, I'm goofy. I'm fucking fun. I'll stay up late. We can chit chat all night fucking long. I don't even care. Play some strip twister. I don't give a fuck. But
strip twister, I'm down.
Check mark, done it before.
Hope everyone showered beforehand. Can you imagine getting a stinking Gucci in your face? Or a dirty ass? I fell.
Put right hand out red. Yeah, my fucking face is going red because I'm holding my breath.
Right face on green, that's my face. Or red because my face is red. Or green, I don't know.
So, like, the night would be, like, super kosher, and then all of a sudden, she's a flip of the switch. I don't give a fuck what you do. And it's like, she just popped off. And then she would try to fight, like, her dude, and it was like, no, like, we're not doing this. So many nights, I had to involve myself and hold her down just so she would not fight who she's with. And I'm like, this is fucking nuts. Like, I can't keep doing this shit. Like, one night I had to tackle her down with one hand because she decided to come throwing fists quick. And I was like, fuck no.
Wow.
Like, we're not doing this shit. She poured mustard all over Dustin's head, got it on his hat, like, just stupid ass shit like that. It's like, we're fucking done. If we can't hang out like grown, drunk adults, then we need to not fucking hang out. Because
or don't
this shit's
drink.
insane.
Like, don't drink. Like, some
Well,
people just can't.
well, she would
and
always
when I
be
hear
like,
from her, she can't.
it's not my drinking. Bitch, yes it is if you're drinking a shit ton of tequila that you can't handle. Yes it is.
I drink tequila.
But you're fine. You get fine.
Okay. Except for the one
Party bus night.
oh well, no, not even party bus night. I still had fun. I just lost my phone. I'm talking about
But you did fall asleep for a little while.
did I? Which one? Last
time? You got cut off. No, not
Oh,
the
that
last
time before. Yes, I
What
remember
was
because
it,
I remember waking up and like being at someone's house and like, where the fuck are we? But I was talking about because really the first two party buses that I went on with you, I drank way too much, but I still was fun. I was still fun. I just fell asleep.
It's okay. We all got to take a little power nap.
But it was at the Christmas party.
Oh my
Where
god, the
I-
ugly sweater
The
party.
ugly sweater party where I fell asleep at like 9:00.
Yes.
I woke up at 1, like ready to party.
We were all gone.
And no one was there. But I drank a half a bottle of tequila on an empty stomach.
Shoo boy, yeah.
But I remember it all. Except for the part I was sleeping.
Yeah. Yeah, it happens. Okay, we're finding a good one, God damn it. I'm bound and determined.
It's not so long. Oh.
My face always says a lot, and you've never figured that out. Oh my gosh.
Sit here.
Good! Okay, we can come up with our own.
Oh my god.
I needed to say. Okay, we can come up with our own because I'm not finding any of them.
Let me draw one.
Okay.
And then you have to answer it.
Ooh, okay.
Alright.
I'm nervous. Is it deep?
It is, and you've already asked it, so we won't do this one.
Okay.
It's a short one. I think it's a shorty. You're so curious like I am. I had that one or something. What is this? Okay, well, give me a fun one that you have one. Do you have one in mind?
No.
First feature you notice on someone.
Oh my. Okay.
See, this is a good one. We are both sexual creatures.
I know some good looking men. Okay. Okay. I have a few. So, like.
This is another good one. This is for you later.
Okay. So for me, oh, this is gonna be terrible.
Okay.
I love beards.
I like beards.
Like,
I hate it when the beard comes off and you're like, oh my god.
no, actually, I fucking want to see it because I want to know what you look like underneath there. Okay.
But then you're like, grow it back.
We'll do a grow beard. We'll just stick it to it.
Do we have beard wigs?
I think for me, because a beard, like, it just makes a man manly. Like, I just don't. Oh, there's just something about it. Like, and you can be bald, you can have a head full of hair. Like, I don't give a shit. But like the beard, though,
A good beard is.
Oh.
But I don't like. I mean, some long beards are good.
oh, I like long, short,
Yeah.
a nice short
It's just
one.
good facial hair, but I don't want like a
Medium.
patchy job. Like, have you seen like I'll do like a 5 o'clock shadow.
I don't
need
need
you
to-
got like this Amish shit going on. No.
Okay, we're gonna scratch the Amish beard. I'm not attracted to the Amish beard. Really, is that even a beard though? That's like
It's some
chops with like
extended chops.
yeah. That's like the chop that keeps going. You know, and then no, this just the chops.
Right, exactly.
So no, that the chops are a no go. So the beard
Okay,
is what
so
I
that's
see
your
first.
face. Let's do face. That was your face.
Oh,
Body.
well, wait a minute. I
Oh,
got
no.
like I got a few.
Okay.
Okay, it's weird. Okay, I know it's like everybody's, but then I look at eyes, like eye color. Which I don't really have a preference on eye color. I don't really care. I really don't have a preference
It's how
on
your
like,
eyes are. Because you can have sexy brown eyes. You can have sexy blue
I like
eyes.
a good green. Like or like dark hair, light eyes. Like
yes, dark hair, light eyes.
That's a very good combo.
Even
Like,
if it's
I like
hazel.
that.
Yes.
Yes, like I like that. Secondly, this may be like a super odd one. It's not on the face. Hands.
Hands.
Because
Manly
I don't know.
hands. You don't want like someone
Well,
with like softies, or
yes,
you want
but
softies?
there's something about like when you see that like 1 or 2 veins that like pop out. I'm like,
I get that. No, I get that.
Because then you like trail up their arm, and then you see how big their arms are, and you're like, oh my god, like I could see those hands on my ass.
I can
like,
see those hands in a lot of places.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
It's like one of those like, ooh, I could see them hands here, or ooh, I could see them hands there. Like, I don't know. There's just something about hands. Like,
I understand that one.
So yeah, that's what I notice.
So like if I look at a guy's hands and they look untouched, that doesn't seem very manly to me.
Yes.
Even if they have the vein or not.
Yes.
But my go-to as far as like face, it would be eyes.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a sucker for eyes. They draw me in. But like far as body, and I don't get to experience it often, except for like when I'm watching TV, mainly Jason Momoa. But like a nice back.
Oh, okay.
A nice, strong back. And I don't want like
I know
real
what you're
super
saying.
muscular man. But
You want that nice V look.
Broad back. And I hate traps. Like if your trap is all the way up to your ear,
Oh,
I cannot stand that. But like you can have a trap.
Hold of that.
You can grab. Maybe I do like traps.
Look like Ninja the Turtle Man. Where do I hold on to?
Right? My arm keeps slipping off.
I'll just grab the back of your top hairline.
I'll just grab your head.
What if they're bald too?
I'm still just grabbing your head. But I like never been like a leg person or anything like that. But
not
like
for guys. Some guys have chicken legs. I'm like,
right, like you should never wear shorts.
How about we not focus there, okay?
How about we keep me from the crotch up? I will not look below.
I mean, you gotta have a good balance. I don't know.
Sorry, my son is ready to be picked up, but I'm having John do it. So
Oh, you're good.
I just want you to know why I'm looking at my phone.
So. Like going back to the hands, like, for me, I think a red flag, like if you're a guy, and my ex was like this because he literally flat out told me like all the time. If you don't get your hands dirty, that to me is a red flag.
Oh yeah.
Like, I'm sorry, but even if you got a little scruffy hand, I don't give a fuck. Like, I don't care how your hand looks. I want to see like a good manly hand.
Exactly.
Like, just
I
don't
understand
know.
that vein though, because it makes you think of other veins.
that tripod vein.
That dipstick. Ooh, you got nice hands. Can you put your dipstick in me?
Yeah, I'd like to see Mom's happy. What? I mean, what?
Hands. You got nice hands. That's supposed.
You look at your hand. You look at their hand. You're like, oh yeah, oh yeah, okay. Yeah.
The thing is, that is not true. Like, you ever heard?
Ooh, I'd be all right.
I know, I would be too.
I wouldn't be too bad.
Are we counting the nails? I'd be too much with the nails.
Actually, that's my alter ego. I think I'm good.
My alter ego. I do have a manly alter ego, so.
I always
His dick is probably.
I always tell people, I'm like, yeah, I got a big dick. They're like, huh? And I'm like, yeah, no, it's my alter ego.
I do have a big dick.
That's why don't fuck with me.
It's not attached to me right now, but.
Oh my god.
At least if I read it right, that was a good one. Was it a good one? Maybe.
There's so many answers blank to this. Okay, what is the question that someone asked that you immediately say yes to?
There's a lot that comes to my mind as
There's
well.
a lot.
Okay, so who's asking the question?
Yeah. Oh.
Because of like, if it's like a relationship, person that I'm in a relationship, am going to say yes. Like, I am a pleaser.
Oh, like if they're like, hey, you want to have sex tonight?
Yes. Or hey, you want to do this? I've never done it before, but yes. I'm very optimistic.
What's your secret?
My secret?
I think mine, like, I don't know, like, as weird as it is for me, like, I mean, okay, sex is nice, okay? But for me, like, I don't have to thrive off of that. Like, for me, I want that more, like, quality time type stuff.
What's crazy is
But
I've been craving that more and more.
And that's why
as the older I get.
Yeah.
Where I've always, probably because of my past, I've always been just a very hypersexual person. And it's always been my way of, which is kind of crazy, just like really realizing why I'm a hypersexual person, because I realize like that's how I make my significant other happy. That's the happiest I make them is probably.
Does it give you some type of like self-confidence though too?
Oh, I'm very confident when it comes to my sex life and abilities.
In some aspects I am like with myself, but in some I'm like, oh, that was a little rough.
Like what? Like what? Like what? You don't have to give full detail, but
Okay. So for me, skip this if you are family. Y'all ain't gonna be listening to this shit.
You don't have to answer it.
So like for me, like I guess so my husband sometimes he'll be like, hey, like, do a little reverse cowgirl. And I'm like, oh, okay, like, all right. But like how we're positioned, I'm like, bro, I ain't worked out for this shit. Like my legs are like,
Let me show you a position that is reverse cowgirl, and this let's work on you.
But if I'm on like my knees, like I'm good.
That's what I'm getting ready to tell you. Okay.
Yes.
So have them spread their legs.
Mm-hmm.
Your knees go underneath his knees and you're on your knees. And you're just racking back and forth.
You ran.
But I'm telling you, you need to. That is the best reverse cowgirl position. It's so comfortable.
So I'm gonna go to Ashley 101.
It really is. And I'll be honest with you, I discovered that in watching porn.
Yeah.
Because I would have never thought, because every time I had done reverse cowgirl, it was always thought maybe it was weird for them because their legs are crushed and like put together and like aren't your nuts squished? You know? Like I've never like really
protect the good.
Exactly. And it's never really been like that enjoyable to me. But when I found this position, it feels good on both parts.
So
and you're comfortable.
Okay, so bouncing off that question, what is like your, this is gonna sound like kind of like, what is your best like, oh, I look good, like sex position?
Oh, doggy. And it's not doggy,
Okay.
it's doggy like ass up, face down.
Okay. Okay, I get that. Or like, is that like where you feel most confident? Like in that
I
position?
just know I look good from behind.
Like, yeah, that is.
But like when I was thinner, on top,
Mm-hmm.
I think because it was that confidence, like I'm in control.
Yeah.
I know I'm
Look
looking
at my
my best.
titties.
Right. But now it's me, not even, it's head. That's where I look the best at.
You're the first girl that I've ever heard say that.
Really? No,
Because most girls are like, fuck that shit. I mean, like, I
I did that for you and you, John. You and Derek, John.
Like, I don't mind, like, doing that. It's, like, I don't mind, you know?
I'm a pleaser.
Not me. Baby, it's 2 and 2. You're gonna please me.
I want to be
please
pleased.
you.
Trust me. Don't get me wrong. I want to be pleased.
I think,
but like I get off
mm-hmm.
on bringing pleasure.
But okay, yes, bouncing off of that, like what makes me want to pleasure you is when you pleasure me. So like if you are pleasuring me, baby, I'm gonna go all in and pleasure you.
I will tell you, the pleasure
because
is much better after I've been pleasured.
If you take care of me, I'm taking care of you.
Uh-huh.
If I feel like it's one way, like
I understand that. There's been points where there's been times where I've like giving your head like 3 times.
Yeah, like when's mine?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Because it's a 2-way street, man.
It is a 2-way street.
Like, come on
but
now.
for the most part, I don't have that issue.
So, like, mine, this is gonna sound so fucking crazy. My, like, best position that I feel like I'm super self-confident in is, like, he's sitting down, like, chair style.
Uh-huh.
And, like, I'm on him. And, like, my...
Facing him or away from him?
Facing.
Okay.
So then, I could smother him my
You can't see shit, motherfucker.
That is, like, the best. I don't know why. Just because I don't know, like, as weird as it sounds, like, I love a good motor butt.
What's crazy is I've really never enjoyed, like, breast play until I got the piercings.
Yes! It's a fucking game changer.
Do it!
Until you get one of the piercings stuck up in his nose and then rip. Fuck no.
Mine is still, not even the nose. I have not had that happen.
It happened to me and it sucked.
My corporate was a seatbelt with when I wasn't wearing a bra and I had a seatbelt on.
Fuck no.
And I went to do a turn and when I went and I'm still recovering.
Just that slight grace, you're like,
exactly. No, it was, I don't know what I was doing to make it, like, it ripped.
No, out, like half?
Like that much, like the nails.
Nope.
Maybe like, say, 2 or 3 centimeters.
Nope.
Good. And when they heal,
oh yeah,
they're so itchy.
Oh, I know.
Then everyone's looking at you and you're like,
or yeah, you're like doing one of these. You're like, oh fuck. Yeah, it sucked because I had to go back to work and I was like, hi, like don't touch me.
I hate it when I'm like that and like my kids just like they have no sense of self boundaries, and so they'll be like climbing on you and they're like, oh my shit.
But boy, they toughen them up a little bit. I'll tell you that.
They do. Oh.
Yeah, so like my husband, like when we're doing it, he likes whenever, so if I'm on top, like in the position that I said that I was in, he wants me to like lean over and move. So he's sitting, his face is here, okay? I have to lean over and twerk.
He loves your ass.
Because my ass just goes.
And the jiggle. Wiggle.
And I was like, okay. And I do it. He's like, yeah, that's fucking hot.
I can imagine it.
And then that motherfucker one time set me up. He recorded on his phone and fucking showed me, goes, hey, look at this. This was on another random night. He didn't tell me that night. So another random night he showed me. And I was like, oh my fucking God.
No, I don't mind, like, okay.
No, there's some dudes that do record and, like, don't tell you.
Let me say this.
There's one I know in particular.
I have some fetishes.
I mean, yeah, I do too.
One of them is, I like being watched.
So, like, voyeurism.
Is that what it is?
Uh-huh.
I love being watched. And so, like, if you want to record me, just tell me and I'm going to give you a better show for your camera.
See, Dustin, like, he has a fetish and he wants to watch me with somebody else.
See, I don't know. See, my boyfriend, I don't know.
Girl.
I don't know. Oh, I'm into girls. so like, my boyfriend has said things like hinting at it,
Mm-hmm.
and I'd be okay with it. But I'm not going to act on it unless you set it up. Like, if that's something that you truly want, because I am a loyal person.
Yeah.
And I feel like sometimes it could be a test to see if I'm going to do it. But if that's something that, like, my significant other truly wants, set it up and I'll do it. Like, when I say I'm an open book and I will try everything, I will. Because I am there to please when it comes to the sexual side of relationships.
I've dabbled in stuff like that, but I feel like you have to almost, like, be really, really single in order for that to, like, really work in itself.
See, me and the kids' father, I was really good friends with a girl, and it was a Super Bowl. Shoot, I don't even know when. It was before 2016, I can tell you that.
Oh, God.
But I went to a Super Bowl party, got really drunk, and he was driving, and I guess me and her fooled around in the back of the truck. I don't know, I was super drunk.
Sure, I get it.
And so I decided I wanted to be able to experience it.
Mm-hmm.
And so for like Valentine's Day, I got a hotel room, set a date, and it was me, her, and him. And we did this poly. Is that it? A poly relationship?
Yeah.
Is that, were it 3 people? Is that a poly relationship? Okay. So, like, we did, like, this poly relationship that lasted about 30 days.
So he dated her, or you dated her? Or what, you both did?
dated
That's
her.
poly. I don't think... Yeah, that's poly. No?
But, like, he didn't never...
I don't think that's poly.
But the thing, I don't know what it is, but,
I
like,
don't remember either.
he couldn't perform to her. Like, he, like... At that time, I was like, I want you to fuck her. I want you to. And, like, he couldn't. And I think that, I mean, that was, at that time, I was like, oh, wow.
I had dabbled in something similar. Like, we were all single at the time. But he was, like, not attracted to her. And he actually kicked her out of the room.
I would have loved that. You know how such a boost of confidence that would have been?
Well, him and we were already, like, messing around.
Uh-huh.
And he was like, oh, let's add in a third. And I was like, oh, you know, like, because I was young. I mean, I was, like, learning, you know. And I was like, oh, like, okay, whatever. And he brought her in. You know, he tried. And he was like, nah. He's like, you can get out.
Mm-hmm.
And he ended up kicking her out. And I was like, oh, shit.
So let's go back to you and the Dustin thing. Like, he says he wants to watch.
Yeah.
He said with a girl.
Mm-hmm.
Is it only just with a girl that he wants to watch, or does he say that he's wanting to join?
I'll tell you right now, he would never do it with another guy. Like, if it was me and a guy, no.
Would he watch you and a guy?
No.
Okay.
He's so, like,
insecure.
Possessive.
Oh, okay.
Almost, like, he gets mad. Like, he gets mad if he thinks that, like, somebody in our friends group's, like, looking at me almost. And I'm like, bro, like, I don't even like that. Like, I'm sorry that I'm so outgoing. Like, I can't help it.
Right.
Like, that's not my fault. But that's also, like, not the other person's fault either. Like, we're not dead. We can all look. You know what I mean? Like, it's you choosing to act on it. That's when it becomes, you know.
See, my thing with the whole looking, if you're in a relationship, in my relationship, if you look and you see something,
I want to see it.
let me know. Let me know. I want to see the nice pooper. I want to see the nice tatas.
Dustin, I know whenever Dustin looks at, like, random girls, because he, like, does this, he'll look again, and then he's, like, staring. I'm like, wow, that's so obvious. But then I do it, and he's like, the fuck you looking at? And I'm like, fuck you. You got to look. I'm fucking looking.
I will say, John is really good at, if he sees something, because he knows that I'm attracted to women. So if he sees someone that he knows that what do you think of my little girl? Or look at that pooper over there. So he's going to share it with me. But the fact that we got onto this part of the conversation is so funny, but not surprising.
I know, right? Well, I mean, we were getting too, like, this whole episode was, like, really deep.
It was pretty
like,
deep.
the whole time.
It
you
was
know,
pretty
like,
deep questions. And then, like, we both pulled out a good handful of questions.
and it was
It's
still
still
deep.
deep questions.
Oh my God. All right.
Oh,
Oh, this is our longest episode. That's my longest episode.
it doesn't even feel that long.
It's almost been 2 hours.
Oh.
It's 7:41. Oops. Oh my gosh. Well, Ashley, thank you so much for being on here. I definitely want you to come back.
Thank you. I love being here.
Yes.
I appreciate it.
Yeah. Oh man, that was great. If you guys ever have any questions that you want us to ask,
Maybe
on here,
not so deep.
yeah, whatever types of questions, you can keep it anonymous or not, whatever. You can always shoot me an email. You can post it on the group page. It doesn't matter. I'll even post my email address. You can post it on there. Any types of questions that
Or
if
in
you
the
guys want us to
comments.
ask, yeah, in the comments, please feel free. Like, shoot your question. We'll get it on here and we can ask. If you want to keep it anonymous, like if I ask the question, you can, or if you want to post who you are, you're welcome to do that too. But yeah, feel free to shoot us any kind of like questions that you guys want us to ask. I think that would be kind of fun, getting you guys engaged and then we kind of answer them.
Yeah.
Kind of gets to know us a little bit based on your guys' questions. So yeah, this was episode 3. This has been awesome. Can't wait for the next episode. Yeah.
Cheers.
Been real.
It always is.
All of us, yeah.
Yes.
We're a very wild bunch. If you ever see us out and about, please come and say hi.
Yes, please.
I know Ashley, she has TikTok.
Yes.
Follow her TikTok.
Sassy Mom of 4.
Yes. Yeah. She does dance moves on there. They're fucking fantastic. I told her to do one because of a song that I requested.
And I'm still working on it. I have majority
Which
of
I
it
will
worked
never
out.
get to see it.
Yes, you will. I'll share it on
Okay.
Facebook just for you.
Okay, thanks. Yes. All right, guys. We'll catch you on the next episode. See ya.